Hi, I'm Ben with the Shoppy Farm. Welcome back to the Barn Bar. It's Friday again. We're going to do things a little bit differently today, or basically not going to make a drink. Um, as we discussed earlier, this Friday cocktail really grew out of the shift in our habits. Basically, Friday afternoon was always a time that we had a bunch of people over to the farm, and it was a time to relax and decompress. And of course, with the onset of the pandemic, that really became impossible. Um, so we picked up the Friday drink thing as a way to celebrate the end of the week. Um, Things have been a bit different here lately, though. It's we're even busier because we're getting ready for harvest, and it feels like the stress is basically never ending. And I am finding in my own personal habits that we're really not doing much drinking anymore. Earlier this week, I made myself a Manhattan out of habit. A martini, excuse me. Um, I didn't even drink it. So what I ended up doing is this, which is sparkling water and a lime. So what I've been doing in the evenings, and that's one of the things I wanted to talk a little bit about today, is we get asked that a lot, like how do we use our products? And I've addressed this once, and it has evolved a little bit. So um, in the mornings, I still meditate. I always have for decades, and I have added in the Shoppy Special. That has stayed the same. So I still use 20 to 40 milligrams of the Shoppy Special, depending on how I feel. And again, I'm over 200 pounds in body weight, if that sounds like a lot. Um, the meditation and the Shoppy Special have been huge for me in the mornings, and I often will take some in the afternoon. And then we discussed this a little bit lately, the pre-rolls, and certainly smoking is a delicate subject, but I do use probably one a week, I would say, on the average. Maybe it's even one every 2 weeks. But for moments of acute stress, I have found that they are the quickest solution, really. I mean, they bring relief very quickly. So I think in acute instances, they're a good tool. And I use them personally. And then in the evenings, this has become my routine. So I use the pot of fouille, which we've got to get Andre on here so we can get the pronunciation correct. So I'm going to call him a fruit square. I take one or two of them at the end of the day, 8 or 9 o'clock, something like that, and make myself what appears to be a drink, but it's not. It's just sparkling water. I found that this is not purposeful, it's just what I've been doing. And then before I go to bed, I take another one or two pot of fouille. So that's 3 or 4, they're 20 milligrams a piece, that's like 60 or 80 milligrams of CBD. Again, it sounds like a lot, but also my body weight, and I do take a fair amount of it. It works for me. I would say I'm not sleeping like a baby, certainly, but I am sleeping, which is good, I think, considering the amount of stress in the world these days. Um, Things have certainly shifted, and I know that we talk to a lot of people lately. Of course, our products are used a lot for pain mitigation, but certainly the hot topic, it seems, when people call and write to us lately is stress and anxiety. Um, Many things certainly in our daily lives that we depend on are disrupted. I mean, even school this fall, it sounds like certainly kids are going to go back to school, but the logistics of it are complicated, and it isn't the foundational part of our lives that it usually is. It seems like even the post office isn't particularly reliable these days. So there's certainly a lot of stress, and this is how I work through it. Um, I don't know if it will work for other people, but it's a thought. So that is, I think, going to wrap up our Friday cocktail. Certainly we haven't stopped drinking, and I will come up with something fun for next week. But for this week, I thought we would just kind of touch on that. I hope you all have a great weekend. See you next week.